As a seasoned project manager, I've witnessed the power of project management firsthand. Let me show you how project management can empower you to attain your business goals. In this video, we will be discussing what is project management, the role of a PMO, as well as 3 approaches to project management. Understanding this core information will help jumpstart you in turning your business ideas into tangible strategic deliverables, all while inevitably saving you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. I'm your host, Darius, and I'm here to help you master the art of project management and turn your team into a high-performing machine. So whether you're a business owner or you're a project manager or an aspiring leader, this video is for you. Before we dive in, please hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to learn how to take your project management to the next level. Also, if this video can help anyone in your network, please share so this way they can do the same as well. But without further ado, let's jump right in. Here's the truth. Businesses that do not understand project management often take on a significant amount of risk that eventually impacts their bottom line and overall success. Not understanding project management can actually lead to several significant risks when it comes to completing projects and overall the company and organization as a whole. There are 3 main risks that are associated with not understanding project management. The first one is poor project execution. Poor project execution is where your projects are struggling to be executed. They're either over budget, they're either not strategically aligned, or there's quality issues within the actual work. Number 2 is that this particular project misaligns with the goals and objectives of your particular organization or stakeholders. This project is not aligning with the goals and therefore is wasting resources, is wasting folks' time, and then also it is blowing opportunity costs. A key example of this would be that you were able to develop a product or an app that does not support any strategic goals of the particular organization, and therefore the time that was spent with the team to actually put this together and work on this was wasted because you can't use it. You want to make sure that you're aligning your projects strategically with what is ultimately needed for your business. And then finally, it is project failure. Project failure can come from scope creep, where the scope is continuing to expand and therefore the project never really ends and there's no deliverables coming from the project. 2, there's stakeholders that are just dissatisfied with the work that came out and therefore that can lead to project failure. And 3, there's a lot of risk that ends up coming about within the project that wasn't managed effectively that just leads to the project also failing. Not understanding project management can actually lead to poor project performance, misalignment of strategic goals, and also just simply projects failing. Proper project management practices is essential when it comes to ensuring that your projects are within budget, time, and are strategically aligned with your goals, therefore ensuring that you're moving the needle for your business. Studies have actually shown that companies that undervalue project management as a practice overall see roughly 50% of their projects fail. That's 50% of your projects not working out in one way, shape, or form. Don't let that be you, and let's talk about what project management is. This way you can make sure that your projects are closing successfully and are satisfying your stakeholders. Before we talk about what is project management, we first have to discuss what is a project. A project is a temporary endeavor that is undertaken to create a tangible product, service, or result. It always has a beginning, it always has an end, and it always has specific objectives and goals related to that particular project to ensure that it strategically aligns with whatever the company or the organization is trying to accomplish. Of course, projects also have their constraints, and that'll be time, budget, and scope. An example of a project is that your team is coming together to develop a software, and that particular software is going to help do a particular goal within your business. This would be an example of what a project is because you're working on this from start to end and achieving a particular goal. Now that we know what a project is, let's talk about project management. Project management is an application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to ultimately complete project activities to ensure that the project meets its requirements. It is the practice, planning, and execution of tasks that is needed to turn a brilliant idea into a tangible product, service, or result. Key attributes of project management includes project scope. Project scope is what is going to happen or what is needed within this particular project that's going to take place within this project. And the scope includes what isn't going to be a part of the project as well as what is going to be a part of the project. Then there is identifying the deliverables. The deliverables is what are the tangible items that are going to be produced once the project is completed. Then there is managing risk, which is just managing any roadblocks or any outcomes that might show up within the project to ensure that the project continues to move forward as needed. Finally, there is the communication between team members and just making sure and helping the team collaborate effectively. Now that we understand what project management is and what is a project, then we can move forward into what is the project management office or PMO. The PMO is a centralized team within an organization that ensures and sets the standard of how projects are going to be completed throughout the organization. PMOs ensure that the project is executed to completion and also align with the strategic goals of that organization. Key roles of the PMO is to support and governance. So they provide the standards and also support the team in how to effectively move work forward. They create the standardization of processes that will ensure that work of similar fashions get done effectively and also within the same space. So they'll set the standard for work. And then also they provide training and development for their project management teams. So they're going to be the ones to ensure that the team is set up effectively and can actually manage that particular project. I've been mentioning the term project manager for a little bit, but what is actually a project manager? A project manager is exactly what it sounds like. A person that is there to manage the project. This particular role ultimately supports the project management practices within that organization and then uplifts them and then uses them to support the projects that are there and ensuring that they align and move forward as needed and are executed. A project manager's role is to ensure that team members are collaborating effectively. They are there to manage stakeholder expectations and communications. They are also there to support the time, scope, and budget of the project, ensuring that we stay within those particular constraints. They are there to do any change orders or any changes to the project. They are there to implement those change requests. They are also there to mitigate and manage risk, as well as just overall monitoring and controlling the project. They are also there to help motivate the team to then produce work that is fantastic and therefore meets the satisfaction of the client. A key attribute to a project manager is being a servant leader. Servant leadership is very important because a servant leader empowers their team to do better and to grow. They help support their team through any obstacles and help support them in moving work forward. And they're ultimately there working alongside their team. Sometimes there's times where the team might be actually underneath the project manager, but there are other moments where the project manager isn't the supervisor for anyone on the team, and they're still needing to communicate and effectively motivate this team to do great work. So having that servant leadership skill is very important so that this particular role can support their team in executing and ultimately providing great work. So with understanding what a project is and also a little bit of the project management office and project managers, there are 3 approaches to project management that everyone should understand when moving their projects forward. The first approach is the predictive or waterfall methodology. This methodology is great for projects that need to have that detail and that focus on exactly what needs to happen at when. It is a project methodology that allows for a predictive flow of tasks. So tasks are organized from one step to the next step to the next step. And it is great in supporting projects that have dependencies on them. So if one task depends on the other, then this would be a great approach just due to the fact that you can now list out what these particular tasks are and then what are the dependencies and ensure that the timeline is moving effectively in that manner. The waterfall methodology is for projects that extend across a large period of time that may have a lot of constraints or dependencies within the schedule, or even that they may have a lot of regulations that need to be addressed within that particular project. Oftentimes, this particular flow or methodology of work allows for team members to effectively sit down, plan, and do work that aligns with what needs to happen. Now, with that comes that the team takes a little bit more time in planning, and it takes a little bit more time in moving some stuff forward, but ultimately the team spends time planning and ensuring that everything is captured, whether it's risk, regulations, or any constraints that the project might see. And then we have the adaptive or agile methodology. This particular methodology works really well with projects that need to be a little bit more fluid and don't necessarily have 100% direction as to what needs to happen. This allows for teams to maneuver and make adjustments along the way when things arise, and also supports in making quick changes. So for example, instead of having it where task A, task B, task C flows, it'll be where there are a set of tasks within the Kanban board. Team members that are assigned to the project are assigned to their task, and those tasks are completed during a particular phase of the project. This particular flow ensures that team members are knocking out tasks that are necessary for what needs to move forward. Between the predictive or waterfall methodology and agile methodology, there are a certain set of projects that kind of live within those realms a little bit better. So for example, a waterfall style project might tend to be a construction project where there are a lot of permits, regulations, and some constraints that need to be accounted for prior to doing any other type of work or task. And then also it is a very long project. It is beneficial to have that be planned out more, whereas agile methodologies work really well with any type of software that's being developed. And the reason is that it allows for team members to work on what they can actually work on at the time without having that set step by step by step. And of course, things can obviously change, but it allows that fluidity amongst team members. Now that we discussed both the predictive or waterfall and agile approach, now there is also the hybrid methodology. And this hybrid methodology is a combination of both the waterfall and agile methodologies. In this particular space, you get the benefits of both methodologies, whereas you get the fluidity when needed for that particular time and space on that particular project from the agile aspect, and also that predictive flow through from the waterfall style that you may need. And of course, each approach has their own benefits, so you want to make sure that you're taking time to ensure that the approach aligns with the project that you're working on. To recap, we discussed what is a project, project management, the project management office, and then 3 approaches to project management. We also discussed what was the impact of the lack of knowledge or understanding when it comes to project management across organizations. I want you all to do great in your organizations and your businesses, so start by implementing these project management practices into your organization so that you can turn your ideas into reality. If you're looking to improve your project management practices within your organization, I am going to actually link a project management assessment tool in the description of this video. Please take some time and just fill it out, and one of our team members will reach out to you with the results of that assessment. This assessment takes a few minutes to complete, and by the end of it, you'll get an understanding of where you need to improve when it comes to project management within your organization. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're looking for more information similar to what we discussed today, and also in the comment section below, just leave a comment as to what are some areas that your team can improve upon within project management, or if there were areas that you have already improved upon, put that in the comment section below and share with your fellow viewers so that they can also gain some information and knowledge from you as well. I hope you find this information helpful, and I'm hoping and excited for you all to become the project management pros that I know y'all can be, and to continue to move y'all projects forward into success. Let's continue to break down project management one conversation at a time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and have an awesome day.